Correlative social media fatigue and academic performance decrement. A large cross-sectional study. Abstract. Purpose: the current study aims to investigate if different measures related to online psychosocial well-being and online behavior correlate with social media fatigue. Design/methodology/approach: to understand the antecedents and consequences of social media fatigue, the stressor strain outcome (SSO) framework is applied. The study consists of 12 cross-sectional surveys that were organized with young adult students. Study A was conducted with 398 WhatsApp users, aged 19 to 27 years, while Study B was organized with 472 WhatsApp users, aged 18 to 23 years. Findings: intensity of social media use was the strongest predictor of social media fatigue. Online social comparison and self-disclosure were also significant predictors of social media fatigue. The findings also suggest that social media fatigue further contributes to a decrease in academic performance. Originality/value: this study builds upon the limited yet growing body of literature on a theme highly relevant for scholars, practitioners, as well as social media users. The current study focuses on examining different causes of social media fatigue induced throughout huso fi popular mobile instant messaging gap. WhatsApp. The SSO framework is applied to explore and establish empirical links between stressors and social media fatigue. Keywords: academic performance decrement, fear of missing out, FOMO, online privacy, self-disclosure, social comparison, social media fatigue. Introduction. Researchers from a number of disciplines, including health and occupational sciences, psychology, and human factors, have investigated fatigue stemming from different real-life situations and experiences. These include fatigue bakashov driving gondroad safety, Brown, 1994, Benayer et al., 2017, aviation, Dawson et al., 2017, healthcare, Piper et al., 1987, Wolf et al., 2017, workforce productivity, Ritchie et al., 2007, the SOF video display terminals, Yu et al., 2017, and socio-demographic factors, What et al., 2000. Because of the inherent complexity associated with its conceptualization and cross-disciplinary research, the concept of fatigue has been assessed and defined in multiple ways. For instance, from an occupational health standpoint, fatigue is a multidimensional concept that is subjective in nature and related to feelings of tiredness, Piper et al., 1987. Within psychology and human factor domains, Brown, 1994, defined fatigue as the reluctance to continue to engage or perform a given task. Brown, 1994. Argued. The tandem of psychological, environmental, and socioeconomic factors, in addition to prolonged continuous activity, the availability of breaks and sleep patterns, result in fatigue. In recent years, researchers have started investigating fatigue associated with the use of information and communication technologies, ICTs, Solano et al., 2013. More recently, research on the topic but from a social media perspective has also started to surface. In a recent interview, the co-founder and former CEO of YouTube, Chad Hulley, drew attention to the surge in social media data production and consumption, how it is occurring at a phenomenal pace, and how it will contribute significantly to users' fatigue. He further elaborates that because of this phenomenon, users will start switching away from these platforms. Turla, 2017. These predictions are gaining traction as, in terms of growth in active users, engagement and reach has slowed for leading platforms, including Facebook and Twitter. Hung, 2017. Social media fatigers define days a self-regulate dan subjectivity feeling of tiredness hat results from using these platforms. Lee et al., 2016. Because of its subjective nature, different users experience fatigue intensity variably, which can span from tardiness to a state of overexhaustion. Ravindran et al., 2014. For instance, the users of a particular platform might observe fatigue because of difficulties in managing and understanding the privacy features for shared content. Meanwhile, other users might get overwhelmed while communicating with a never-expanding network of friends via different platforms. Similarly, scholars have suggested that information, communication, and system features overwhelm users because the time and energy required to deal with these overloads results in social media fatigue. Ravindran et al., 2014. Some common examples include a feeling the need to check multiple times, a swarm of network friends to communicate with, and frequent liatadand updated features. Social media fatigue has been linked to negative implications not only for users, but also for the platform operators and service providers. From the user perspective, the fatigue caused by social media is likely to have adverse ramifications in terms of psychological and physiological well-being. Shin and Shin, 2016. Lim and Choi, 2017, Pontes, 2017, Sun et al., 2017, Dairedal, 2018. Likewise, there are percussions of this phenomenon can also be unfavorable for social media platforms and their associated service operators because the users might limit their use, switch or stop using completely, which ultimately impacts profitability. Ravindranadal, 2014, Dairedal, 2019. Scholarship expresses deep concerns over the significant negative implications for sand business entities and have even suggested the need for an urgent investigation into the different aspects associated with social media fatigue. Agumidal, 2016, Shin and Shin, 2016, Dairedal, 2018, 2019. However, currently, we only possess a limited understanding of how social media fatigue correlates with social media use behavior and academic or work well-being. To address this need, the current large cross-sectional study was organized with 1,870 young adult social media users in India. The present study aims to investigate what are different piece of social media's behavior, namely online privacy concerns, social comparisons, self-disclosure, intensity of social media use, and fear of missing out, correlate with social media fatigue. Furthermore, the current study examines whether social media fatigue correlates with academic performance decrement among young adult social media users, which is a popular concern among educators, parents, and policymakers. The current study specifically focused on Indian social media users, mainly because of 3 reasons. First, the past decade has whiteness aderapid surge giant the internetus in India, and ditus current lyran kedskin regarding the total number of internetusers. Internet World Stats, 2019. Likewise, the number of social media users in the country is also thriving, and roughly 310 million use different social media platforms, predominantly through mobile handsets. Statista, 2019. Second, despite having an extraordinary user base, Indian social media users are relatively less studied in terms of social media use behavior. The current study is important for 4 main reasons. First, the number of social media applications and information shared on these channels increases rapidly. Therefore, it is vital for organizations to understand or stand associate usage phenomena, such as fatigue. Second, understanding the various aspects of social media fatigue can support companies and relevant stakeholders in providing content that is valued by the customers and can lead to retention. Third, young people indulge a number of social media platforms, and investigating the relationship of fatigue and their well-being, e.g. academic performance, can further broaden your understanding of the consequence of problematic social medias. Fourth, the current study concludes with significant theoretical and practical implications for social media users, service designers, parents, educators, policymakers, and practitioners engaged in information management, background literature, and hypothesis development. Social media fatigue. A review of Teprior Badayo for research on social media fatigue indicates that this phenomenon has gained scholarly attention only recently. Table I. From a platform perspective, most studies have concentrated on different aspects associated with fatigue and stress-induced throat hemis, notably online social media platforms such as Facebook, Ravindranadal, 2014, Brightadal, 2015, Kramaridal, 2016, Dairedal, 2019, Lidl, 2019, Qzone, Zhang Edal, 2016. And social media platforms in general, Loganedal, 2018, Lidl, 2016, Pontes, 2017, Solidal, 2017. In comparison, a handful number of studies have been conducted in the context of mobile instant messaging, MIM, apps, Shin, and Shin, 2016, Sun et al., 2017, Xiao and Mao, 2019. Most of these studies have been carried out with participants in developed economies, including the USA, Brightadal, 2015, Kramaridal, 2016, South Korea, Lidl, 2016, Shin and Shin, 2016, Lim and Choi, 2017, Portugal, Pontes, 2017, and Finland, Salo et al., 2017. More recently, studies from emerging economies such as China, India, and Pakistan have also started to emerge. Zhang et al., 2016, Lukman et al., 2017, Dairedal, 2018, 2019. Our review clearly indicates that marine empirical studies in social media fatigue are needed in the context of emerging economies such as India. These will augment our current understanding of social media users, which, until now, has predominantly focused on users from the USA and developed countries. Moreover, the cultural diversity lens will further offer novel insights and comparisons about the actual usage patterns and preferences of social media users in different regions of the globe. Prior literature suggests that scholars have used a number of theoretical frameworks to understand social media fatigue. These frameworks originated from psychology. For example, the stressor-strain outcome, SSO, stress coping model, stimulus organism response, SOR, Maudland transaction theory of stress, Shin and Shin, 2016, Zhang et al. 2016, Luckman et al. 2017, Salidal. 2017, Dairedal. 2019, studies in social media fatigue have aimlessly examined social media's correlations with different social media use behaviors, such as compulsive use, fear of missing out, privacy concerns and information, communication, system and social overloads. Bright et al. 2015, Baynes et al. 2016, Salo et al. 2017. Previous research on the topic has also determined the potential repercussions that may arise because of social media fatigue. This includes an investigation into the possible consequences or outcomes, such as suspended or reduced activities. Ravindran et al. 2014, Shin and Shin, 2016, Zhang et al. 2016, Luckman et al. 2017. In addition to this, many studies have pointed toward the negative psychological and physiological outcomes of experiencing social media fatigue, such as emotional exhaustion. Lim and Choi, 2017. Depression and anxiety. Pontes, 2017. Dur et al., 2018. Sleep deprivation, concentration issues and problems in social relationship management. Salo et al., 2017. Building on the current literature, the present study investigates whether different measures related to social media use behavior and academic well-being, i.e. academic performance decrement, correlate with social media fatigue. Unlike most prior studies, the current study considers fatigue by looking at an MIM app, i.e. WhatsApp, one of the leading and most popular social media platforms in India and other countries. Despite being a leading MIM platform, WhatsApp is positioned under the umbrella of social media that accommodate Web 2.0 applications, where users create and exchange their own content. Kaplan and Heinlein, 2010. WhatsApp, or MIM in general, is different from other prominent social media platforms, including Facebook and Instagram. The main core characteristics of WhatsApp distinguishes it from other prominent platforms. These are, first, WhatsApp supports day-to-day communication in synchronous mode with others, individual and group, in the form of text, voice and video. The interactions on WhatsApp are not intended for the public at large because they're often limited to close contacts or specific social groups. Second, WhatsApp enables its users to share multiple content formats and offer a free alternative to network calling, which sets it apart from other forms of social media. Our observations are consistent with the prior literature in India, which suggests that the users of different social media use these platforms differently because of underlying affordances and associated gratifications. Miller et al., 2016. Considering the above premise, the current study expands on and complements the existing literature on the possible antecedents and outcomes of social media fatigue abusing lesser-known measures in the context of young adult WhatsApp users. Online privacy concerns and fatigue. User privacy has been known of the most actively debated topics in the context of social media platforms. Social media platforms are specifically designed to lure users to become active content generators. Maintaining a personal profile and sharing content within the network and publicly expose us to a number of privacy and security risks, such as identity theft, profile hacking, cyberbullying and online surveillance. Krasnovidal, 2009. O'Keefe Clark Pearson, 2011. These risks from network externalities translate into user fears, which area of termed privacy concerns. In the present study's context, privacy concerns refer to the user's degree of anxiety about the possibility thought their personal, confidential or sensitive information may be monitored, exposed or violated by others within or outside the network. A social media proliferates and becomes an integral part of the daily lives of many online users. Issues associated with privacy become ever more significant. Recent developments, such as the Cambridge Analytica controversy, ISO an example at a trace alarm. Regarding the privacy of userdata, Kuckler, 2018. Recent research indicates that privacy concerns of social media users negatively influence their behaviors, activity levels and trust with these systems. Tadikan, 2014. Malakidal, 2016 A.B. Furthermore, being to accessible or to make information throughout his platforms also contribute to stop privacy concerns among users. Bright et al., 2015. Because of active mentions of privacy issues in the media, stories of privacy breaches, uploaded private and sensitive data, and somewhat complex and confusing privacy settings, social media users feel pressured, which can potentially contribute to fatigue. There are two possible reasons for the possible association between online privacy concerns and social media fatigue. First, when a task, event, or activity is executed, then it results in the utilization of a person's cognitive space, which, by its very nature, is limited. Boxman Tops, 2008. Similarly, when a social media user is concerned about his or her online privacy, his or her cognitive space is also affected in a way that could lead to social media fatigue. Second, social media users with high privacy concerns are likely to become anxious about their social media use, and this translates into social media fatigue. Bright et al., 2015. However, compared with this, some scholars also believe that social media users with low online privacy concerns are likely to become too accessible or might receive too much content and information from other people. Bright et al., 2015. This is also consistent with the observation of Schwartz, 1968, page 741, that beyond a given threshold, keeping social contacts becomes irritating and thus difficult. Because of this, it is likely that social media users with low privacy concerns might experience social media fatigue. Therefore, we put forward the following hypothesis. H1. Online privacy concerns among MIM users negative like correlate with MIM fatigue. Online social comparison and fatigue. Social media platforms are excellent channels for self-presentation because they facilitate users in generating an image of themselves. The image create on these platforms influences how people within their network perceive and value a particular user. Goffman, 1959. An extended review of social psychology literature shows that individuals comparing themselves with those who they think are superior or better off may result in negative emotions, including envy or depression. Furthermore, these negative emotions can have a negative impact on health and psychological well-being. Bunk and Ibima, 2003. Social comparisons occur in various offline contexts, i.e. daily life, but social media platforms simplify and expedite the whole process. Kramer et al., 2016. For instance, Kramer et al., 2016, revealed that almost 70% of their study participants compared themselves with their Facebook friends. Considering this motive, users tend to post socially desirable and glossy portrayals that aim to optimize the positive self-image and impressions among friends and followers. Medizade, 2010, Kramer et al., 2016. In doing so, social media users tend to share crafted and selective information about their lives that might not reflect reality. On social media, many users do not personally know or have not met most of their connections, and hence, users tend to form an image of each connection based on shared content, e.g. status updates, pictures, likes, and comments. This shared content generally depicts people's lives based on more positive characteristics, such as success, family, wealth, and appearance, which might not be true. Chio et al., 2012. In line with the social comparison theory, these positive life experiences, events, and feelings lead other users to be more prone to self-comparisons because they tend to relate that information to themselves and compare their lives to other people's lives. Festinger, 1954. This exposure to content depicting highly favorable life experiences and gauging one's abilities, performance, and life in general can have negative psychological outcomes that negatively impact one's well-being. Because a user have been increasingly using their social media for social comparisons, there is a growing interest in the resulting psychological outcomes. The literature has reported a number of psychological and behavioral reactions, such as envious feelings, emotional distress, jealousy, and low self-confidence, as a result of comparing oneself with others on social media platforms. Feinstein et al., 2013. There is also significant empirical support to suggest that engaging in social comparisons on these platforms, particularly Facebook and Instagram, poses negative psychological outcomes that are likely to affect users' psychological well-being and mental health, leading to poor life satisfaction, mood swings, and depression. Vogel et al., 2015. Cross et al., 2013. Based on the above premise, we argue that carrying good social comparison in MIM will result in fatigue. Therefore, we hypothesize the following. H2. Online social comparison among MIM users positive like correlates with MIM fatigue. Online self-disclosure and fatigue. Sharing information about oneself is one of the key motivations for why individuals use different social media platforms. Chio et al., 2012, Bazarova and Choi, 2014. Compared with other forms of online channels, e.g. content communities, blogs, or collaborative projects. The level of self-disclosure rise for higher on social media platforms. Kaplan and Heinlein, 2010. Most these platforms require to create a personal profile by adding a display photo and personal information, e.g. name, gender, location, and interests. Similar to communication in offline environments, self-disclosure or sharing personal information is what necessary to effectively use the various features of these platforms and become involved in self-expression, relationship initiation and relationship maintenance. Altman and Taylor, 1973. As the number of social media users grows and the amount of time these users spend on these platforms also increases, many of them are inclined to unmask and share their personal stories, thoughts, feelings, and experiences in public and privately. Many users engage in self-unmasking on these platforms with the intention of forming bond intimate, meaningful relationships. Bazarov and Choi, 2014. To achieve these objectives, they disclose personal, sensitive, and confidential content without realizing the inherent what established notion of losing control of their disclosures. Bazarova and Choi, 2014. A fair amount of literature has highlighted that because of disclosure of sensitive personal information through online self-disclosure, online users become prone to ramifications such as cyberbullying, unwanted sexual solicitation, sexting, online harassment, and internet addiction. Krasnova et al. 2009. O'Keefe and Clark Pearson, 2011. For young people, particularly adolescents and young adults, the likelihood of synthesizing people is quite high. O'Keefe and Clark Pearson, 2011. Scholars have argued that although these vulnerable groups are being educated about the potential threats present on social media platforms, Vanderhoeven, 2014, these groups are tempted to disclose sensitive information because of peer influence and expected words. Sheldon and Pecchioni, 2014. In addition, a growing body of literature has linked online self-disclosure with negative psychological well-being, such as anxiety, fatigue, and mental stress. Boxam and Tops, 2008. Rains et al., 2016. Based on these findings, it is likely that self-disclosure will exert strain on MIM users in the form of social media fatigue. We hypothesize the following. H3. Online self-disclosure among MIM users positive like correlates with MIM fatigue. Intensity of MIM use and fatigue. In the context of social media, across the globe, there is an upward trend in the daily time spent by users. A recent report published by Statista, 2019, highlighted that, on average, web users spend over 136 minutes every day on different social media channels. The excessive use of technology among different cohorts of society has been an active research topic. Studies from a number of disciplines have indicated that high exposure to contemporary gadgets and technologies, McDaniel and Coyne, 2016, mobile phones, Ivazlu et al., 2016, and social media, Rosen et al., 2013 b. burdens user behaviors and has negative consequences on psychosocial and physiological well-being. For instance, the study by Tom E. et al., 2010, looking at young Swedish adults, ranging from 20 to 28 years old, reported an association of high ICT usage with various mental symptoms, including frustration, role conflicts, time pressure, mental overload, neglect of personal needs and other activities, social isolation and guilt feelings. In another study of adults ranging from 18 to 65 years old, mean 530.74, their researchers observed a number of clinical symptoms among the heavy Facebook users, including major depression and schizoid disorders, Rosenedel, 2013 b. Furthermore, a number of recent studies have also reported the impact of social media intensity, including negative psychological outcomes such as loneliness, low self-esteem, depression and exhaustion, Carapanosedal, 2016, Koedel, 2018, Diredal, 2018. Therefore, it is plausible to hypothesize that the intensity of MIM use is positively associated with social media fatigue. We propose the following hypothesis. H. Ford, the intensity of MIM use positive like correlates with MIM fatigue. Fear of missing out, FOMO, and fatigue. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is a prevalent tunisa about missing information. Rewards are gratifying experiences that other members of one's network might be enjoying, Prabilsky et al., 2013, Heidel, 2016. This personality trait connects with the desire to constantly connect with and follow others on different social networks. Prior literature on FOMO has suggested that the desire to persistently stay connected online to monitor or communicate with authors is likely to result in the excessive use of mobile phones. Heidel, 2016, Ko Edel. 2018, The Internet in General, Kandel. 1998, Online Gaming, Kinjidal. 2017, and Social Media Platforms, particularly Facebook, Prabilski et al. 2013, Alt. 2015, Banz et al. 2016, Diredal. 2019, Eformo on social media cambeling kedto the impulsive desire or to connect in these platforms and engage in activities, for example, chat with others, share or view updates, read or respond to conversations, /comments, or play social games. On social media platforms. Eformo is usually apparent when the user impulsively wants to connect in inappropriate situations, for example, right after waking up, during lectures or meetings, or while driving. Pribuskital, 2013, Alt, 2015, Hetzetal, 2015. Like other forms of technology-related anxieties and problematic use, scholars have attributed FOMO to negative physiological and psychological well-being, such as reduced life satisfaction, low self-esteem, inadequacy, high alcohol consumption, depression, and physical issues. Przybilski Edel, 2013, Heidel, 2016. Moreover, individuals with the feeling of FOM more likely to have negative emotional feelings, social exclusion and social envy. Hetzetal, 2015. Although FOMO is prevalent in cohorts of online users. Recent studies have reported a higher level of FOMO among adolescents and young adults, i.e. those attending college. For instance, the study carried out by Banz et al. 2016 reported that adolescents with a higher need for belonging and popularity in Facebook experience higher levels of FOMO, which results in intensitas of the platform. Furthermore, Facebook users with high levels of FOM experience more stress. Banz et al. 2016. Based on the above premise, we hypothesize the following. H5, FOM among MIM users positive like correlates with MIM fatigue. Academic performance decrement and fatigue. A number of studies have investigated the adverse implications of technology in the workplace and its effects in learning within social contexts. Rachidal, 2007, Rosenedal, 2013 A. B. These studies found strong evidence of negative correlation between excessive use of technology and induced stress or fatigue with human performance and output. For example, Ingeming, Jacksonadal, 2011, and mobilophones, Lepidal, 2015. Technologies aimed at gratifying hedonic needs, for example, social media platforms, have very high cognitive absorbing attributes that usually increase users' involvement and dependency. Chow et al., 2018. Spending excessive time on these platforms within and outside the classroom can limit the time spent studying and concentration. Mental preoccupation with these platforms during academic activities will result in an upsurge in psychological stress that ultimately can lead to lower actual performance. Igoridal, 2011. For instance, Kirchner and Karpinski, 2010, carried out a study with 218 Facebookers, and they observed a lower self-reported grade point average, GPA, among heavy social media users. Likewise, other studies with U.S. college students found that increased interactions and usage of Facebook contributed to lower actual GPAs. Junko, 2015, Rosen Edel, 2013 A. B. Some study behavioral report thought lower GPS at the outcuff excessive mobile phone usage, for example, texting and calling Hong. Eyal, 2012. The aforementioned studies in educational settings have measured academic performance B using GPA in a particular subject or GPA for the overall year. Compared with this, the present study has used a more holistic measure, academic performance decrement, first coined by Kubui et al., 2001. Academic performance decrement measures the negative impact of social media on the overall academic performance of a student. For example, it measures whether social media use hurts or disturbs college work and sleep, resulting in exhaustion and a lower GPA. Based on the extended social media literature, we hypothesize that social media fatigue is positively correlated with academic performance decrement because of social media use, as follows. H6, MIM fatigue positively correlates with academic performance decrement among MIM users. Research methodology. Research model. To understand and determine the different antecedents and outcomes associated with social media fatigue, scholars have used a number of theoretical frameworks predominantly originating from psychology. For instance, the SOR framework has been used to examine whether excessive Facebook can lead to discontinuance or intentions. Lookman et al., 2017. Salo et al., 2017, applied the transaction theory of stress to investigate the link between various social networking sites, SNS, stressors and individual/social strengthening Finnish social media users. In another study with users of a popular mobile messenger in South Korea, KakaoTalk, researchers used a stress coping model to understand the impact of overload with shunning behaviors, Shin and Shin, 2016. Moreover, push-pull mooring, the person-environment fitmol, the limited capacity modland the seso habil binaseto investigate the antecedents and outcomes of various social media platforms, Sun et al., 2017, Lee et al., 2016, Bright et al., 2015, Kim et al., 2019, Chow et al., 2018. Yu et al., 2019. To empirically explain the fatigue process associated with MIM use, the research model of the current study uses the SSO framework. We specifically opted for the SSO framework because it perfectly aligns with our study objective, i.e. correlates social media fatigue in terms of its antecedents and outcomes. Koesk and Koesk, 1993, originally proposed the SSO framework, and it helps to explain how behavioral outcomes result from different stressors. The SSO illustrates a comprehensive account of the interplay of three major components: stressor, strain, and the resulting outcomes, Figure 1. The framework postulates that humans tend to alter their behaviors, outcomes, to minimize the aftermath of detrimental reactions, strains. These strains usually emerge if there is an imbalance between the situation of a person and a requirement of the environment, stressor, Koesk and Koesk, 1993. Because of its origins in occupational health psychology, the model has also been widely used to study stress and fatigue induced through technology use and its outcomes among users. Ayagari et al., 2011. In the current study's research model, the stressors are different stimuli represented by social media's behavior, namely online privacy concerns, social comparisons, self-disclosure, the intensity of MIM use, and FOMO. Based on the SSO model, these stressors can trigger various emotional state test toa strains, i.e. social media fatigue. In the final stage of the process, strains could potentially lead to a number of psychological and physiological outcomes, for example, depression, anxiety, Pontes, 2017, Der Edel, 2018, behaviors such as shunning or discontinuance, Ravindranadal, 2014, Lukmanedal, 2017, Solidal, 2017, Sun et al., 2017, and a downturn in performance, Lep et al., 2015, Zhang et al., 2016. Compared with this body of literature, the present study has considered academic performance decrement as a possible consequence of social media fatigue. Study participants. The present study consists of 2 cross-sectional self-reports organized with young adult students attending a large public university in northwestern India. The target population was 17 to 27-year-old young adults who actively use WhatsApp, a popular MIM application in India. We conducted study with 398 MIM users, 27 years old, attending a full-time master's program at the university. The mean achieved test study participants of study hours 22.81, SD 54.13, where 57.4% and 58.03 were females. Organized study with 472 MIM users, 23 years old, Hawaiian Lai attending a distance education course and were not full-time students at the university. The average GOFT participants was 20.30, SD 53.13, where 63.1% and 52.98 were females. The participants of study were different from those participating in Study A because they were not full-time students and instead had full-time employment and were taking part in distance education for career-oriented excellence. The process for self-report headed a collection ways as follows. We advertised the proposed study among the target population via different university departments, teachers, and advertisement on notice boards. We informed the target user group about the different research objectives and questions, anticipated benefits, and related research process. Afterward, we invited the interested students to participate in both studies with the assistance of the respective departments. We organized the survey answering sessions in a classroom environment, and internal faculty members monitored the sessions. Before the survey answering exercise, we again informed the study participants about the research process, aims and objectives and anticipated benefits. The student participation was voluntary, meaning that the students could withdraw at any time. Participation was confidential and anonymous. We collected no personal information except age and gender. We obtained informed oral consent before allowing the students to participate. 3.3 Data analysis. The current study examines the goodness of the model fit through different indices, namely chi-square/degree of freedom, x2/df, comparative fit index, CFI, Tucker, Lewis index, TLI, and root mean square error of approximation, RMSEA, Klein, 2015. The recommended values for a good model fit include x2/df less than 3.0, CFI and TLI greater than or equal to 0.92, and RMSJ less than or equal to 0.08. Wang and Wang, 2019. A good model fit shows a close fit between the empirical data and the theoretical research model. We followed a two-step procedure recommended by Anderson and Gerbing, 1988. First, we examined the measurement model using a confirmatory factor analysis, CFA, by accessing model fit indices in different forms of instrument validity and reliability. In the second step, we estimated the structural model using structural equation modeling, SEM, to answer the different research hypotheses. Results. Measurement model.